They said something. It wasn't loud. It wasn't cruel. It was subtle. A glance. A tone. A word wrapped in sarcasm. And now, it's stuck in your head. Did they mean that? Was that a jab? Am I overreacting, or were they out of line? You're not alone. Most people spiral over things they can't prove, but still can't forget. But let's ask the question no one dares to ask. Why does someone else's sentence have the power to steal your peace? Because here's the Stoic truth. Words don't hurt you. Your attachment to them does. And once you understand that, you take your power back. Welcome to True Stoic Mindset. The place where you don't just hear ancient wisdom. You learn how to wield it in a noisy modern world. In today's video, we're going to explore why you take things personally, and how the Stoics taught us to never let other people's noise become your inner voice. Stick around, because what you're about to learn might just unchain your peace for life. Why we take things personally, the hidden ego trap. Let's be honest. You don't react to what was said. You react to what you think it says about you. Taking things personally is not a sign of emotional depth. It's a symptom of the ego being bruised. You see, the ego craves approval. It wants to be admired, respected, unshakable. So when anyone says something that challenges that image, we feel attacked, even if it wasn't meant that way. But here's the Stoic wake-up call. It's not the thing that troubles you, but your judgment of the thing. Epictetus. That one sentence explains it all. Your mind, not the other person's words, decides the weight of what was said. And too often, we load it with meaning that was never there. Sometimes, what you think is an insult was just a comment. What you hear as rejection was indifference. And what feels like betrayal was simply misunderstanding. The Stoics knew that the world isn't here to validate your feelings. That's your job. So instead of asking, "Why did they say that?" ask this instead. Why does my peace depend on what they said? That's the turning point. That's where you step off the emotional roller coaster and back onto solid ground. What the Stoics knew, it's rarely about you. Here's the hard truth most people never hear. Most of what people say has nothing to do with you. Their mood, their stress, their insecurities. All of it leaks out in their words. And you just happen to be standing there when it does. You see, most people are not trying to hurt you. They're trying to cope, deflect, project, survive. That rude tone might be exhaustion. That passive-aggressive jab might be fear. That cold silence might be pain they don't know how to express. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, you will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest." Why? Because expecting the world to be perfect is a setup for suffering. But understanding that most people are acting from their own chaos, that gives you space. And in that space, you find freedom. Instead of taking it personally, you start to observe people, rather than absorb their behavior. You stop asking, "Why are they like that?" and start saying, "That's their path. Mine is peace." This isn't about letting people walk all over you. It's about realizing they were never stepping on you. They were stumbling over their own wounds. That clarity? That's Stoic strength. The inner shield. How to emotionally detach without going cold. So how do you stop taking things personally? Without becoming numb, bitter, or disconnected? You build your inner shield. Not to block the world out, but to stop it from controlling your center. Here's how the Stoics would do it. Step 1. Pause. When something triggers you, pause. Even a few seconds of stillness can save you hours of regret. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is your power to choose. Viktor Frankl. The Stoics lived in that space. Step 2. Observe. Ask yourself, is this really about me, or are they projecting their own storm? Detach from the ego's instinct to react. Shift from, this hurts me, to, this reveals them. That shift? It's liberation. Step 3. Redirect. Now, refocus inward. What are your values? What's your standard? Do you approve of how you're showing up? Suddenly, their opinion becomes background noise. Your peace becomes the only voice that matters. This is not about emotional suppression. It's emotional transmutation. You don't kill the feeling. You redirect its energy into something aligned with who you are. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." So stop letting imaginary insults become real wounds. Let them bounce off your shield. Build that shield by knowing who you are, what you stand for, what's truly worth your energy. Because when you build that inner fortress, no passive-aggressive text, no sarcastic tone, no careless comment can get in. You stay calm, centered, unshakable. That's not detachment. That's mastery. When you should actually pay attention, yes, sometimes it is about you. Let's not pretend every comment is harmless. Some words cut deep. Not because they're cruel, but because they carry truth. And truth, even when wrapped in harshness, is still worth listening to. The Stoics didn't avoid criticism. They welcomed it, when it came from reason. They believed feedback, even unpleasant, was a mirror, not a weapon. Seneca wrote, "A wise man welcomes correction." So what do you do when a comment hits a nerve? First, ask yourself, does it sting because it's unfair? Or because it reveals something you've been avoiding? This is the part many get wrong. They either reject all criticism, or absorb it all like poison. The Stoic way is either. It's about evaluating the message, not blindly reacting to the messenger. If someone says you're always distracted, don't obsess over their tone. Check your focus lately. If they call you impatient, don't argue back. Reflect on your reactions. Taking feedback as fuel, not fire, is what separates the emotionally fragile from the emotionally free. Remember, the goal isn't to never be hurt. It's to be unafraid of facing yourself. To use every sting as a sharpening blade. To let discomfort carve you into someone more deliberate, more aware. Sometimes the words that hurt us are the ones that help us grow. Stoic comeback, calm, centered, unshakable. So what do you do when someone crosses the line? Do you lash out? Withdraw? Try to prove them wrong? The Stoic answer is none of the above. The real comeback is no comeback. Because nothing silences noise like presence. Nothing weakens insult like indifference. And nothing shows strength like staying unmoved. Marcus Aurelius never taught us to win arguments. He taught us to master ourselves. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. That's not weakness. That's power redefined. You don't have to prove anything. You live your standards. You walk your values. You respond, not react. Imagine someone throws a verbal dagger, and it lands on a stone. No wound. No ripple. Just stillness. That's Stoic strength. Let your calm confuse them. Let your discipline frustrate them. Let your peace become the wall they cannot penetrate. The greatest revenge is not showing them they're wrong. It's living in a way that makes their words irrelevant. Because the moment you need to fight back, you've already let them inside your walls. So guard that gate. Not with anger, not with silence, but with clarity, with principle, with calm. They can say what they want. You decide what echoes inside. And when nothing echoes, you've won. Don't let a sentence control your soul. One sentence. That's all it takes to ruin someone's day. If they allow it. But you're not here to be ruled by random remarks. You're not here to give strangers free rent in your mind. You're here to reclaim your peace. And live by principle, not by emotional whiplash. The Stoics never said words don't matter. They said your interpretation of them does. So the next time you feel your heart race, your ego flare up, your mind start building a story around someone's words, stop. Ask yourself, do I really want to hand over my inner state to this moment? You already know the answer. If it's true, grow from it. If it's noise, release it. But don't let your soul be hijacked by assumptions, tones, or comments made in passing. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who say the most. They're the ones who stay still, while the world tries to provoke them. If this message grounded you, share it. And subscribe to True Stoic Mindset for more reminders. To protect your peace, live with intention. And answer the world, with silence or strength. Your choice. Always your choice.